Have you ever wondered how you can upgrade the quality of your life? Now, many people would think that what they need to do is to buy a new car, move to a different part of town, hang around richer people or more famous people, like many people try to do these days on social media. But what if I could share with you 5 major ways to optimize your thinking and to upgrade the quality of your life? Would you be interested? Stay tuned because I'll be back to tell you more. Like, comment, subscribe to this channel, and click on the notification button so you don't miss any of the new videos I'm going to be posting this year. Hi, my name is Damilola Oluwatoyinbo, and this is a special presentation on 5 key things that can help you drastically upgrade your life. So the very first thing I'm going to say is that you have to be very honest with yourself about where you are. I see a lot of people online these days who are trying to be what they are not, who are trying to create content that does not flow from their hearts, who are trying to aspire to levels that they are not qualified to access. The fact that you admire something does not mean that you qualify to possess that thing. So the first thing is ask yourself, where exactly am I in my life right now? Now, everybody's journey is unique. We're from different backgrounds, we have different stories, we've been through different challenges. Some of us were born into rich families, others into poor families. Some had silver spoons in their mouths, some had no spoon at all, just a lot of saliva and noise in their mouth. So ask yourself, where am I at this stage of my life? Now, when you ask that question, you want to be honest, you want to be direct, you want to be succinct, you want to be specific. Where am I spiritually? Where am I mentally? Where am I emotionally? Where am I financially? Where am I academically and intellectually? Where am I socially? Do an honest assessment of your life and don't pretend. Don't act as if you are better, higher, greater than you currently are. In fact, when Paul writes, he says that you should ensure that you don't think more highly of yourself than you ought to. In other words, have a realistic assessment of yourself so that you can build from where you are to where you desire to go. Number 2, you now also want to think, where exactly do I perceive God is taking me to? Don't forget what the word says. I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you a hope and a future. Another one says, to bring you to an expected end, which means that no matter where you are right now, it does not have to be your final destination. So you might be in debt, you might be tired, weary, anxious, nervous, broken, distracted, you might be suffering from some challenges. But listen, that is not the end of your life. So give yourself the opportunity of thinking ahead, looking ahead, and trusting God to bring you into new levels. So be very clear about where you desire to go based on what you perceive God is doing in your life. Now, let me say this, regardless of who you are, your culture, your background, your academic degree or pedigree, God has great plans for your life. So how do you see those pictures? Reflect, sit in a quiet space, pray, sing as you worship. Ask the Spirit of God, paint pictures upon my heart that describe your intention for me. That's the second thing you want to do. You ready for number 3? Number 3, you now want to sit down and deconstruct the journey. Now, let me be very clear. You will not always be able to identify all the specific aspects of your journey between where you are and where you want to go. So, for example, there is no way Joseph was ever going to be able to say, this is exactly how I'm going to become the prime minister. Don't forget that Joseph had this amazing dream, and in the dream, he saw the sheaves bowing before his sheaf, and then he saw the sun, moon, and stars bowing before him in the dream. So he knew that he was set for great things. He knew he was set for the top. He knew he was set for destiny purposes, right? There was a massive assignment on his life. However, there was no way he was going to say, okay, so for me to become the prime minister, then I will have to go to Potiphar's house. Then Potiphar's wife will have to, lie against me and slander me and set me up. Then I'll go to jail. There was no way he was going to know that. However, he knew that he had a gift, and what he was going to do was that he was going to serve. Now, in planning for the future, don't plan based on what you think is going to happen. Plan based on what God has given you as an element of value. So that's your gifts, that's your time, that's your energy, that's your talents, that's your connections. Plan with that in mind, that if I'm going to move from A to B, so for example, let's say that you're just writing poems on social media or just writing nice quotes on Pinterest or Instagram, and you just see yourself being this global author, this award-winning, best-selling author. Ask yourself, if I'm going to scale what I'm writing now to 10 million people, what do I think I'm going to need? Now, you may not be accurate in your planning, but God, who knows the thoughts of your heart, will begin to bring resources, advisors, mentors, coaches, training opportunities into your space to ensure that you make progress in your life. So think about the future and serve your way to the future. What do I need? Deconstruct the journey. Number four. So the fourth thing you want to do is the last line I used: serve your way through the journey. Many people think that an upgrade in your lifestyle means that, oh, I now have to go and buy this flashy car. There are people right now who pose beside Lamborghinis that don't belong to them. They pose beside Bentleys that don't belong to them. They wear clothes that don't belong to them. They pop champagne just to make people feel like, hey, I've arrived. And many of those things are just false, and they are empty and they are vain, and they leave the pretenders worse off than they actually were originally. So what you want to focus on is not the applause, it's the A+. Did you get that? In other words, don't focus on people shouting your fame and shouting your praise and all of that. Focus on, how can I be a plus to somebody's life? Like in Joseph's case, how can I interpret the dream of the butler and the baker? How can I serve so supremely in the house of Potiphar? Or like David, how can I kill the lion and the bear even when there's nobody there to celebrate me or post it on Instagram or TikTok? If it was today and somebody killed the lion and the bear, guess what they're going to do? They'll put hashtag lion slayer, hashtag bear buster, hashtag give me all the things, desert raider or something like that. But there's some victories that are not for social media. You just want to serve, you want to give, you want to add value, you want to be able to enrich other people's lives. And what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you, if it's in line with His plan and agenda for your destiny. So serve, develop the culture of adding value, creating value, helping people. You want to do that. Number 5, do you know what you want to do? You want to connect with people who look like they have your values, your vision, and the vehicles you need to accelerate God's plans for your life. Now, what do I mean? You want to partner with progressive people. One of the major challenges people have is that they are trying to go to the moon, but they are rolling with people who are only interested in diving in the sea. Opposite directions. If you want to go to the moon, stop hanging around sea divers all the time. Of course, you can pop in, visit them, ask them about, oh, what's the discipline that you engage in diving, right? But if you want to go to the moon, look for people who look like they're going to the moon. Look for people who look like they're driven in that direction. If you've sensed that your destiny is connected to ministry, to be able to enrich the lives of people with the Word of God, with music, with sounds and creativity that can usher in the greater character of Christ on the inside of them, accelerate their growth in life, hang around people who are speaking the language. If you perceive that God wants to use you in terms of your finances to sponsor people or to be a philanthropist or to support young people, begin to connect with people who are flowing in that regard. Now, I'm not saying don't hang around with other people. I'm just saying the premium time you spend should be with people who are in that neighborhood, right? Does it make sense? It is very important that you keep that in mind. The word says, he that walks with the wise will be wise, but the companion of fools shall be destroyed. Paul also said, do not be deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manners. So if you are communicating with people you should not be communicating with, you cannot communicate the value you want to communicate. Let me say that slowly. If you are constantly communicating with people that you should not be communicating with, you will not be able to communicate the value you want to communicate to your generation. So keep that in mind. Now, I usually give you a bonus point. Are you ready for that? Bonus point, boom, number 6. Look for the things in your life that you can upgrade immediately. Look for the things in your life you can upgrade immediately. So if it's your bed sheet that you can change it immediately. If it's a broken window in your house, go and change the broken frame, right? If it's your shoes that now have holes in them, like holy shoes, HOLEY, holy shoes, go and change the shoes. If you've been wearing the same shirt for 7 days on end. Your boxer shorts now are basically a disinfectant in your house because all the flies in your house just die at the sight of your underwears. Come on, wow. Change that immediately. What can you upgrade that does not necessarily require the input of somebody else or even what you might call divine intervention? Take responsibility for those areas of your life. Make those changes immediately and then trust God to do amazing things in your life. I trust that you got something here. Don't forget, like this video, comment on this video, share this video with somebody who's trying to upgrade their lives, upgrade their life, one life, right now. And as you do it, guess what? Boom! You're going to experience so much joy in your own life as you add value to other people's lives. Don't forget, subscribe to this video and look out for the next video in this series where I'll share with you 5 more things that will transform your life. Like, comment, subscribe to this channel, and click on the notification button so you don't miss any of the new videos I'm going to be posting this year.